Nightside. Too many shelters, not enough money. The future of Hope House coming up.
Holiday travel conditions are looking good this week, but there's a small window that could cause some issues. I'll let you know when you'll want to avoid hitting the road. Travel alert in your First Alert forecast.
Moscow murder victim Ethan Chapin was laid to rest today in Mount Vernon, Washington. What his mother had to say.
You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. We told you earlier tonight about Moscow police doing what they've been calling rumor control, while at the same time tracking down a quadruple murder suspect. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. Tonight is another example of that misinformation. Earlier, this post about a community alert on Facebook had hundreds of people commenting and sharing, wondering if it was related to the murder investigation. And less than an hour ago, Moscow police responded saying they did investigate the incident and there was no crime and the incident was unfounded. Tonight, detectives have no suspects and no murder weapon. They have received more than 700 tips that they're following up on. So far, they've interviewed nearly 100 people who may have information about the murders. Law enforcement's latest efforts have been focused on sifting through downtown surveillance videos from cameras in the area of the crime scene.
Have requested anybody in the neighborhood around the house, if they have any Ring doorbell, video cameras, security cameras, if they also observed anything kind of off that night.
That's Aaron Snell of the Idaho State Police. He acknowledges that they've been slow to release information, but says they are telling the public everything they can without jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation.
Public relations standpoint, it's quite difficult because what's happening is information's getting out and people are getting upset. It's hard to trust when you don't really know what the correct information is. A lot of people out there want to speculate. A lot of people want to come out of retirement to tell us how to do our job. But you know, ultimately, we have some of the best people from this agency, from the Idaho State Police, from the FBI. I mean, I don't know, if you want better techniques, I don't know where else you'd want to go to than, to these agencies. This is a criminal investigation, and so we have to be careful with what we're allowed and what we can release.
Snell tells 4 News Now that the most up-to-date information will be on the city's website. He also asks for patience, saying there's a lot of evidence to process. Crews are working around the clock to find answers as quickly as they can.
Well, detectives are asking for your help. They need all outside surveillance video taken from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. on November 13th from businesses and homes in this radius, north and south between Taylor Avenue and Palouse River Drive, east and west between Highway 95 and the Arboretum. Tips, pictures, and videos can be emailed to tipline@ci.moscow.id.us or call the number on your screen, 208-883-7180.
Friends and family gathered tonight in Mount Vernon, Washington to say goodbye to Ethan Chapin. He was a triplet and his family spent many summers at Priest Lake. He worked at Hills Resort. The memorial was kept private today. His mom, Stacy, made a statement just before the start.
I thought I could do this. You got it. Today we're here to honor the life and legacy of our son and brother, Ethan Chapin, one of the most incredible people you'll ever know.
The Chapin family also thanked everyone for their support, along with the Moscow police and the media for keeping this story on people's minds. And a Washington police officer who grew up in Spokane died in a collision this morning in Bellevue, Washington. Officer Jordan Jackson joined the Bellevue Police in 2018. Before that, he was an EMT, volunteer firefighter, and part of a volunteer search and rescue unit. He graduated from Central Washington University. He leaves behind his wife and 2 young children.
Well, new tonight on Nightside. Too many shelters and not enough money. That was what Spokane City Council members kept on reiterating at their meeting tonight.
Yeah, the City Council decided tonight they're going to use $3.5 million from the American Rescue Plan to keep existing shelters in operation. Our Rania Kaur is in studio tonight with what led up to this point. Rania?
Aaron, Kirsten, earlier this month, the Volunteers of America said they'd close Hope House after learning the city of Spokane would cut funding for next year by $1.5 million. The people who spoke at the city council tonight, including Brian Walker, a former volunteer with the Women's and Children's Restaurant, were confused by why current shelters weren't receiving enough funding.
I think that you have to scratch your head and wonder what they were thinking. Some sort of Game of Thrones thing where we'll have this pot of money, we're going to fund the city programs first and potentially abandon these existing institutions that have served people so well.
Tonight, City Council voted to direct funding to the 4 shelter providers, VOA, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, and Family Promise to make it the same levels as it was in 2022. City Council members also called for a regional response. Councilmember Jonathan Bingle says it's Spokane that's bearing the burden for Eastern Washington.
I'm going to be supporting this resolution as well because I do want to acknowledge those who have been faithful partners to this city and to this community for a very long time. I do believe that they deserve to be funded first.
While they agreed unanimously, right now City Council says the city of Spokane does not even have enough funding or enough beds in the system to accommodate for the colder temperatures. Erin, Kirsten?
Rania, thank you. Well, it's been a few weeks since the Salvation Army took over operations at the Trent Resource and Assistance Center. The change in leadership has come with some challenges.
The Guardians organization ran the center before, but as they deal with a fraud and embezzlement investigation, the city of Spokane cut ties. Vanessa Perez spoke to people about what changes they have seen.
We got a first look inside the Trent Resource and Assistance Center since the Salvation Army took over. Now, there are a couple changes happening here. The Salvation Army says it wants to bring the center up to its standards. For now, this is what about 270 people call home.
Well, I'm here because of my wife. She's pregnant, and I'm here because of her. If she wasn't here, then I wouldn't be here.
Standing Rock says he should be getting into permanent housing in the next couple of weeks. Since a change in leadership, people have received new blankets and sheets.
It's starting to get better. I mean, we eat really good now, but they're going to put in showers. They're going to put in steel beds. They're going to do a lot since Salvation Army took over.
But Standing Rock says the center is still recovering from bad habits involving its past leadership.
That's what's happening here. The leaders were acting up, cussing around, going around, starting fights and stuff, so everybody in the shelters started doing that. Now there's fights almost every day.
Under the Salvation Army's leadership, there's now full-time security. Soon, people will be sleeping on better quality beds.
Salvation Army, we have a certain standard for how we do stuff, and so the speed at which we can get there has been a little bit of a challenge, but I know we're going to rise to the occasion to get folks to the level that we typically give in any type of sheltering environment.
The organization says it's also fixing shower units and adding more.
Those are all the things going to help us raise the level of care for the folks that are coming in here. We want them to feel like this is their home to them, but not their forever home.
As changes are made with the goal to move people forward in life. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. A winter weather advisory is in effect for Tuesday. There is a travel alert. Be warned that you're going to run into some slick spots if you're planning to go over the passes in either direction or through the Columbia Basin. Even in the northern valleys, you're going to find some snow, a wintry mix of precipitation, 1 to 3 inches of snow possible around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area by this time tomorrow night. A winter weather advisory goes into effect at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday, expires at 1 a.m. Wednesday for extreme eastern Washington and North Idaho, the Columbia Basin. In that wintry mix, the winter weather advisory goes from 10 in the morning until 7 in the evening. Here's a look at our forecast radar on Tuesday, and you could see that wet weather moving into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area right about noon. Pink indicates a mix of rain and snow, or as I mentioned, freezing rain in the Columbia Basin. It will be snow mainly from I-90 north, and then rain or a rain-snow mix further to the south. We'll go back and forth between rain and that wintry mix in Spokane, with mainly the accumulating snow found on the higher benches and in northern parts of Spokane and Kootenai County. Finally, we're almost dry by 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then smooth sailing for any sort of holiday travel as we get into Wednesday. That would be a great day to hit the road. Tomorrow you may run into some challenges. We bring in that chance of rain or snow right around noon, or more likely just a little bit after. Again, turning all to snow just after sunset. Our high tomorrow 36, 40 is our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast, including Thanksgiving Day, in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. A traffic alert now in North Spokane. Emergency crews are repairing a water main break that created quite the mess earlier this evening and will continue through the night. It's happening at Francis Avenue and Crestline Street. The emergency work will affect traffic for anyone heading east or south on those roads tonight. Crews will be working through the night to fix the water main, and they're hoping to have the roads back open tomorrow morning. But for now, eastbound lanes of Francis are closed and westbound lanes are being restricted. Maintenance crews say it's common for underground pipes to burst when there are changes in temperatures that cause freezing and thawing.
A quick heads up for everyone. Because of Thanksgiving, City Hall, libraries, municipal court will be closed Thursday and Friday. Garbage pickup will be bumped back a day for some people. Crews will do Thursday rounds on Friday and Friday rounds on Saturday. Riverfront Park attractions will also be closed Thanksgiving, but open the rest of the weekend. That includes the weekend. Parking meters do not need to be paid on Thanksgiving. Well, it's time now for a first look at sports. Let's bring in Julian Minnesota.
Thanks, Aaron. Now, it's been a frustrating November for both Washington State and Eastern Washington men's basketball. The month, however, would get a little bit better for just one of these teams. The Cougars and Eagles going head-to-head at Spokane Arena tonight. Washington State got the scoring started early. Jay Mullins was unconscious from three. Mullins had a career-high 24 points with 8 threes. Steele Venters provided the spark for Eastern. Venters buries the triple, but the Cougs could not miss from beyond the arc. Once one person started getting hot, they all did. Justin Powell from the corner, that's money. Cougars hit 15 threes in this one. Washington State wins 82-56. Mullins career high 24 points for the Cougars. And of course, we'll hear from both teams coming up later in sports, guys.
Julian, thank you. Thanksgiving travel tips you might not know about. That's coming up.
And an Oregon woman recently gave birth to twins, and they began as 30-year-old embryos. Find out how next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Salvation Army of Spokane Red Kettle Christmas Campaign.
To build the all-new Honda CR-V Hybrid, we took everything you love about the CR-V and kicked it up a notch with excellent fuel efficiency and greater power. For a CR-V unlike any before, adventure confidently with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles. Visit your local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily. Buy online or reserve from select Honda dealers.
With more and more people working from home and not being active or moving as much as they used to, it's now more important than ever to break the habit and get back to the gym for a healthier, better you.
Working out should be a daily routine, and Move Fitness wants to help you create new habits by keeping you motivated with our friendly, award-winning staff. And you can get it all for around $1 a day. So what are you waiting for? Join the movement.
Tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, we monitor the latest developments from the murder investigation in Moscow.
Plus, safe travels for Thanksgiving weekend. Mark Peterson is keeping a close eye on conditions and the best times to hit the road. That's tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
It's time to prepare your home for the holidays with the home remodeling experts at Windsor Plywood.
Time to shop for wood.
Discover new colors of luxury vinyl and laminate flooring, or check out many styles of engineered hardwood flooring. And you're going to love Spokane's largest selection of moldings, as well as many exotic hardwoods.
It's where the contractors go to get great ideas or to find replacement and upgraded looks for your home.
Windsor Plywood.
New tonight.
Joe Biden is the oldest sitting president in United States history. He's 3 Zendayas and a baby now.
With Carey Mulligan, Josh Groban, and Jimmy decides if kids have been naughty or nice.
That is not going to like that.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by Multicare Health System.
Here's a flight hack I bet you didn't know.
Well, we've heard the travel tips, but what about these viral travel hacks? One of the biggest tips experts have is to ditch that checked bag and only bring a carry-on. This summer, when airlines canceled 55,000 flights, passengers flooded the federal government with lost luggage complaints. If you do decide to bring one, TikTokers have an idea about how you can keep track of it. Drop a tracker like an Apple AirTag in your luggage.
I think this is one of the best viral tips to happen in years.
Officials at major airports worry that they'll run out of on-site parking. If the airport you're using offers it, book a spot online ahead of time. If you're driving, AAA says you should try to travel at times when most people are not driving. The worst times to drive will be on Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. When you're coming home again on Sunday, try to avoid driving between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m.
And of course, check in with our team of meteorologists here at 4 News Now. They're going to have your travel alerts. More than 54 million Americans are traveling at least 50 miles for Thanksgiving. That's according to AAA. For a lot of people, that means flying.
Spokane International Airport officials say the busiest travel days will be tomorrow, Wednesday, and this weekend. Peter Choi shares tips from the TSA to help you make it to your destination.
There will be more than 6,000 people who are expected to be screened each day.
All of our officers will be working, and so we're going to be extending their shifts. They're going to be working overtime so we can keep the number of lanes open to screen departing travelers.
TSA officials say the security checkpoints at the airport will open 3:30 a.m. every day and ask travelers to check where their checkpoints are for the airlines. The TSA is asking travelers to pack smart, not to bring prohibited items in your carry-ons, and not to overstuff your bags. If travelers would like to travel with a Thanksgiving meal, they can pack solid food.
The issue for the traveler this season is to come early, be prepared for longer lines.
Spokane International Airport officials say, do not be surprised if your favorite parking spot is taken.
Numerous options in our garage and our outside lots, as well as economy. We will be opening up the economy overflow lots that are served by shuttles.
In Spokane International Airport, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
And if you're hitting the road for Thanksgiving, there's some tricky weather you might want to know about.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has declared tomorrow a travel alert day to be aware before the holiday. Here she is.
Would not be my favorite day of the holiday. If you're going to get an early start, maybe get a good night's sleep tomorrow and hit the road early on Wednesday. Tonight, the clouds increasing 20 degrees for an overnight low. Tomorrow, a mix of rain and snow in Spokane, 36 degrees. For our high temperature, the further north you go, the more likely you'll just run into snow. Further south, more likely just rain. In fact, here's a look at our forecast snow as we go through the day on Tuesday. I'll take you all the way into Tuesday night, and you'll notice more snow in Coeur d'Alene than in Spokane, 2/10 compared to 2 inches of snow, but the higher totals in North Idaho and along the Canadian border. Meanwhile, a good portion of the region missing out on the snow. However, it is going to be the freezing rain as you get into the Columbia Basin that will be the issue the first part of the day tomorrow. Right in the Spokane area, we're going to see a little bit of everything. In the northern portions of Spokane and Kootenai counties, you'll see 2 to 4 at Deer Park and Spirit Lake, also in 9 Mile, 1 to 2 in Meade and Hayden. And then once you're like right in the I-90 corridor, the odds of that snow really go downhill. Here's a look now at our lows tonight. We'll be down in the teens and 20s. High temperatures tomorrow in the mid-30s to right around 40 degrees. Still running a little bit below average. In your planning forecast, as I mentioned, Wednesday, a great day to travel. No problem getting to Grandma's on Thanksgiving Day. 38 degrees. Great day for Thanksgiving fun. Friday, 38. Also decent travel. However, the passes aren't quite as pleasant for traveling. I'm going to be back in just a few minutes with a more detailed look at what kind of weather you can expect if you're heading over the passes to the east or to the west. We'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Reflect on the past. Celebrate the future. This season with Audi.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
It says here, United Healthcare has America's most chosen Medicare plans and local Medicare plan experts.
They'll even find you a plan with good dental coverage.
How do you know?
Scott, my local Medicare plan expert. He helped me find the right plan.
With benefits including prescription, drug, vision, and dental coverage, our Washington team is ready to help you find a Medicare plan that meets your needs and budget.
Talk to a local Medicare plan expert today at 1-888-SHOP-UHC.
In therapy, there is promise. Each step forward is an achievement and a gift of hope. And at each hurdle, an encouraging hand. Joya, every child is limitless.
What is a jewelry design center? It's a diamond superstore, a center for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary rings, a showroom with unique creations as well as award-winning designers, a fun, comfortable, no-pressure place where you are free to make big, small, or even no decisions at all. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
Reflect on the past, celebrate the future. This season with Audi.
4 News Now is brought to you by Aligned Family Chiropractic.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. An Oregon woman recently gave birth to twins. That part isn't too strange. What is unique is that the embryos are almost as old as her. The twins came from these embryos that were frozen 30 years ago, suspended in time at nearly 200 degrees below zero. That is until Philip and Rachel adopted them. They are the oldest embryos ever to result in live births.
Embryo donation is a medical procedure. It's a way by which we take embryos from one couple or individual and then transfer them into another individual in order to build families.
Freezing embryos is not a new technique. The first baby born from a frozen embryo was back in 1984. The number of donated embryos has steadily climbed from about 1,000 a year in 2013 to about 2,100 in 2020. Around 40% result in live birth.
It was hard to wrap your mind around it. I was 5 years old when God gave life to Lydia and Timothy. In a very real sense, they're our oldest children, even though they're our smallest children.
Travel alert day for tomorrow. If you are heading out and about, some things to keep in mind. You are going to encounter some snow, some wintry precipitation, particularly in the Columbia Basin where there could be some light freezing rain and slick roads. The passes, of course, especially prone to be an issue tomorrow. Let's take a look at our past forecast. Starting off going west, Snoqualmie, a rain-snow mix off and on throughout the day, not especially heavy snow. Good on Wednesday, great on Thursday. Friday, we bring back that chance of rain and snow. You will encounter some heavier snow on Stevens Pass, both on Tuesday as well as Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, also in pretty good shape. Tomorrow, Lookout Pass is going to be challenging. If you can get over early before the snow hits, though, you will be in good shape. Great on Wednesday, Thursday, and then some light snow possible on Friday, 4th of July. Similar tomorrow, though, more of a rain-snow mix, so should be in pretty good shape. Certainly, we have had more challenging driving on the holiday. Here is a pic of the night tonight from Mary Lou. She captured this image up at the Rocks of Sharon. I've never been there during the winter, but she captured this beautiful hoarfrost in the sunshine with the blue skies. And thank you so much for the pic of the night. All of the pics of the night are featured on my Facebook page. Find me there. Just look for Chris Crocker, Chris with a K. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. In the fight against lung cancer, health experts call new data on survival rates remarkable progress. The American Lung Association shows the 5-year lung cancer survival rate has continued to increase from 21% in 2014 to 25% in 2018. The odds of surviving cancer increase significantly when it is diagnosed early. But the report says about 44% of lung cancer cases aren't caught until a late stage.
The challenge is getting the word out there, making people understand the risks of lung cancer, providing them with options in terms of how to get diagnosed with lung cancer, and then really explaining the importance of getting treated.
Some research suggests that as many as 60,000 lives could be saved each year if the recommended 14.5 million Americans get lung cancer screenings. Washington State men's basketball defeated Eastern Washington at the Spokane Arena tonight. We hear from both teams later on in sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Wendell Motors.
It's a tale as old as time. Tale as old as time. Beauty and the Beast, a 30th celebration, December 15th on ABC.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a matching air conditioner with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free AC from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
R&R RV Center is your Van World Superstore. Solus, Travato, Echo, Revel, and more. Choose from front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or 4x4. And bring your trade. R&R RV wants your boat, your Harley, your old RV. Van World at R&R RV Center in Liberty Lake and North Spokane. Or shop now at rnrrv.com. Eastern Washington's largest RV dealer.
From R&R RV, your RV Superstore.
It's time to say yes to your healthcare story. The Washington Health Plan Finder helps you find new health plan options like Cascade Care. These plans cover primary care visits, mental health services, and generic drugs all before meeting a deductible. Start your next chapter off right by enrolling in your 2023 health plan at wahealthplanfinder.org. Don't wait until it's too late. Enroll now.
It's the week we've been all waiting for. Apple Cup week is finally here. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. Now, to some, it's just another college football game. But to those here in our state, it means a lot more. Washington State hosts Washington on Saturday in the 114th meeting between the two schools. Washington State won last year's game in Seattle 40-13, snapping a 7-game Apple Cup losing streak. Wazoo head coach Jake Dickert, he's in his first full season at the helm of the Cougs, says last season's game will go a long way in helping Wazoo this time around.
I thought they played free. You know, I thought that's a big thing in a rivalry game and a perceived big moment. Guys got to go cut it loose and be themselves and have fun and enjoy it and understand it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a little chippy, right? It's going to be some of those things, and those are the things we encourage. Those are things you just understand. So enjoying the moment, be present in it. I know when you talk to former Cougs, you know, you don't remember a lot of scores, but you remember the Apple Cups.
Now, the 2022 Apple Cup will kick off Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at Martin Stadium in Pullman, and we will have Apple Cup coverage throughout the week here on 4 News Now. And the Washington State basketball team has a long memory. It was this time last year when the Cougars suffered an upset loss to Eastern Washington at Spokane Arena. Tonight, the two teams were back in Spokane for the 2022 edition of the matchup. Washington State got the scoring started early. Jabe Mullins couldn't miss anything from 3, had a career-high 24 points, all 8 3-pointers. Now, Steele Venters provided the spark for Eastern. Venters buries the triple, but the Cougs could not miss from beyond the arc. Once one person started, they all started. It's Justin Powell, this time from the corner. Cougs hit 15 threes in this one. Washington State wins 82-56. Huge bounce-back win for the Cougs, who lost 2 straight heading into this one. Now Alex Crescenti has more on that from Spokane Arena.
After going 0-2 in the Spokane Arena last season, the Washington State Cougars certainly exercised some demons tonight as they cruised to an 82-56 win over the Eastern Washington Eagles. And during the Kyle Smith era in Pullman, they've been known as one of the better three-point shooting teams in the entire Pac-12 conference, and they certainly backed that up tonight, going 15 of 30 from beyond the arc. Jabe Mullins leading all scorers with 24 points, all of them from 3. Transfer Justin Powell also adding 14 of his own as he goes 4 from 8 from beyond the arc.
did the dirty work in practice and stuff like that, and we just figured out that we need to be better at the end of the day. So we put it together tonight, and we ended up shooting well, which always helps. So it was just a good win.
I had 8 threes or whatever. That didn't even matter to me. I just wanted to win, whether it was Justin or TJ or anyone scoring the ball. We just wanted to win.
And when a team is shooting that efficiently from the field, it's just hard to keep up as the defense of Eastern started to wear down as the second half progressed.
We can't let, those 2 shooters get off and just get wide open looks like that and get rhythm. But hats off to them. They capitalized and they did make some tough shots early.
Now Eastern will travel down to the Florida International Tournament later this week. As for the Cougs, they're going to stay in town as they will host Detroit Mercy before starting a short stretch of Pac-12 games in a couple of weeks. Reporting from inside the Spokane Arena tonight, I'm Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Alex. Now, Washington State women's basketball defeated Troy 87-72 in the final game of the North Shore Showcase in Hawaii. Bella Morekatete, 22 points for the Cougs. Washington State returns home Monday to host South Dakota State. Gonzaga women's hoops taking on number 23 Tennessee in the 3rd place game of the Battle for Atlantis tournament in the Bahamas. Second quarter, Tennessee in control. Jordan Horston buries the 3 there, but Gonzaga, they trailed at 6 at halftime, but the Bulldogs, they just kept hanging around in this one. 14 seconds left. Bulldogs down by 1. Yvonne Ejim goes off the glass, gets it to go. Gonzaga takes the lead, and they would need a stop in the final possession if they wanted to get that 3rd place spot. Here it is, Tennessee right here with the possession. They'll get the drive to the basket, but the first opportunity, no good. Volunteers grab the board. Second chance would go up, also no good. How about one more for the Volunteers? No, Gonzaga hangs on, 73-72 the final. Ejim scores 22 points for the Bulldogs in the win. Now Gonzaga will take on Eastern Washington at 2 o'clock Saturday at McCarthy Athletic Center. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
There are many different ways that Numerica gives back. Financial education is my way of giving back to the community by being able to help members in branch and getting the opportunity to go out into schools and teach kids about how to put themselves in a better position financially.
Watch, Archer. You forgot this.
Wait, you...
Customer service.
Your employees work hard for you. Give them a health plan that works harder for them. From Primera Blue Cross, with more options to fit your business needs and budget. Because your employees depend on it. Find your plan at business.primera.com.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Best chance of precipitation will be in the afternoon and early evening. A wintry mix around the Spokane area. Could see a little bit of everything. Will be dry by this time tomorrow night.
It's a good time to get out there and check your tires and make sure they have full pressure so you don't get a flat while you're driving around tonight.
Particularly the Spokane Arena.
Hey there, Julian.
Look,
we had to push his car back into the lot.
We didn't know that.